Hello.
Hey.
Hey, thanks for joining us this Wednesday afternoon, night, evening.
Night.
We are here to discuss, of course, Agatha All Along, episode 3. As always, a lot happened this episode. We can't wait to talk about it. But first,
Yeah.
as with every episode, we want to talk about a little bit of news here, a little
Oh,
MCU news. So, Jack, as you know, the trailer for Thunderbolts recently released
wow.
earlier this week. And what did you think about it?
It looks like a fun movie. Matter of fact, I saw some people comparing it. It might be like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, which I could
Wow.
kind of get a vibe out of it. Some of the characters, it's so funny. I mean, if I could pull back the curtain a little bit, you was familiar with some of them, but you was like, who is what was her name?
Ava.
Yeah, you was like, who the hell is Ava? But it looked fun. I love God, I always blank on Natalia's sister, but she's fun.
Yelena.
Elena, yes, Elena, she's always fun. Red Guardian was kind of my favorite in the Black Widow movie. To me, he kind of stole the movie for
Mhm.
me. And it's always going to be great to see Bucky. Some people are even, and I want to throw this question at
You
you.
think,
Some,
go, go ahead.
some people think that this is Bucky's last ride. Do you see that?
That's what I think. I put it in the chat. I was like, I
Oh,
think he's gonna die this show. This movie. He looks tired, haggard.
right. That's what we wrote. He said he looked tired.
He looks tired. He ready to go. He's been alive for what, 100 years or something at this point. He's an old man.
I love your philosophy, and it's like, oh man, I'm tired. I'm tired of this shit. It's time to just go, like go for it.
Yes. When I saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, this is about to be his last film. And they have to do it. There has to be like a little tearjerker moment, a moment that brings the crew together. Because this is like,
Mhm.
uh, they have no loyalty to each other outside of maybe Yelena and Ray Guardian, right?
Right,
Outside
right,
of
right.
those two, who the heck are these people to each other? No one. There has to be a death to solidify the brotherhood of this Thunderbolts, and I feel like it's going to be Bucky. He's going to be
You
the
know,
one.
I don't know if we get a death. I'm not so like so much. I'm not leaning so much on that, but I think that if this is his last one, I can see him just riding off to the sunset. I think this could be something like how they gave Drax, right? Like Drax, they didn't kill him off. They just had him on another planet watching kids or something like that.
Yeah,
And
he stayed on nowhere and
yeah, so maybe because you might be on to something about this being Bucky's last ride, but I
Mhm.
don't think so. I think maybe he's done. He says, you know what? I just want to go hang out with Steve. But that retirement life looked fun.
All right. Well, let us know what you think in the comments, guys. We got 18 of you in here already. Thank you so much
Hey,
for being here. Don't forget to like the video.
let us know
Um,
what you think about this news and what you think about episode 3 of Agatha All Along.
yes. So let's get into it a little bit. So we are knee deep in the Witch's Road, almost literally. I don't know if the picture uploaded, but my girl, Mrs. Hart, almost got swallowed up.
You know what? If I could say something real quick, because getting these pictures, Twitter and stuff like that. But people are a fan of Miss Hart, and they were like, "Don't do that, Marvel," because they were like, "Don't hurt her."
Yeah, she's so comic relief. Like she's so sweet. She's always like, this interesting character. She's just, there for the ride.
Yeah.
So when they pulled her out, I was like, okay, thank God. But Agatha was telling them that, hey, don't stray off the path, else there could be some issues. And even before we got to that part,
Sure.
our coven ladies, right? They witness teen struggle with revealing his
Oh yeah,
identity.
yeah. That redactive. That's what they call it, like the redactive spell.
Yeah, they call it a sigil. So
Ah,
apparently, yeah, it was put on to him. This is the what the word vomit that we get in the show. The explanation that was there, it was put on him by another witch to block his identity from other witches. So they call it a sigil. So we know a little bit more about what's going on with that. But as they were going down the road, the witch's road, they get to this part and they see this, picturesque home on the beach.
yeah. Looks
And
like a lovely place to lay your head.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. And when they get into it, they turn into like these like 90s sitcom moms and son or whatever. They completely change their appearance. Um, so I thought it was nice. We got a little, something different, a little change it up to see what's going on. So
Yeah.
I feel like this is some magic at play here because again, most of them don't have powers at this point.
Yeah,
So
none of them. I don't think none of them. Right, because I think in the last episode we were mentioning how like they might have little to no power.
mhm.
The visual, this is interesting because it gives me this WandaVision kind of thing where it just takes these different turns where, like some of the other MCU shows, it's like, oh, you can feel like this is so MCU, and then they'll do something like this, because like how you said 90s, which is funny because Miss Hart, she's from that 70s show, so she should be right at home doing that. It took me a while to realize that was her, because I said that looked like, because I
That
didn't
is
know.
her, Mrs. Foreman.
There we go. There we go. So I thought that
And
was
also, just like WandaVision, it's kind of like going through like the
yes,
eras, different eras and stuff. So
yes.
that was
Where
cool.
is this? You said the 90s?
It looks like 90s sitcom moms to me, and like
I would
this
think
like
80s.
80s. You get the 80s.
I'm gonna give 80s. I mean, you know what it is? That vest that Teen is wearing. That's so, because 90,
Okay,
90 kids would definitely be like, hell no, ma.
okay. Yeah, and I do feel like that preppy look was very big in the 80s. So
Yeah.
possible, huh?
And Step Brothers. I remember Step Brothers,
Oh yeah,
comment section picture. That's what I think of when I see that vest. But I
but
thought it
when
was cool.
when they get in there, they have they find a kind of a notes, and on the other end of the note it's this riddle, right?
Mhm.
And I was trying to solve the riddle, but they gave us the answer so fast I couldn't get to it. But here's the riddle: my age has value. I'm no fun alone. I mess with your mind. My tricks are well known. So it turned out to be wine. Even though that last line, my tricks are well known. That could have, I don't know about that
That could
last
have
line.
been something else, but you know what? I didn't even bother. So I want to give you your flowers for even trying, because they said this. I said I'm not gonna get this, and and like you said, they just did so quick. Matter of fact, shout out to Miss Hart, because she was the one who said why. She
Oh
was so
yeah,
excited
yeah.
about it.
I don't know about shout out because she just saw it on the table and called it out, and they were like,
Yeah,
"Oh
she
yeah,
called
that's
it out
right."
first, dude. Like she called it out first, and they were like, "Oh, that's 2 points for you, Miss Hart." I forgot which said that, but they gave her give her flowers, please. She's
I
done for a lot
guess,
in this episode,
I
please.
guess. But shout out to the chat. There's 30 of you guys in here. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like and let us know what you thought of the
Whoa,
episode. And 31, thanks for being here, guys.
yeah,
So they were able to, get solve the riddle,
yes.
and they come to this conclusion that they
No,
have
no,
to.
no, 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 no. I'm sorry. No. You said they, not the witches didn't do it. Miss Hart, please
Okay,
get them correct.
Miss Hart turned around, saw wine, said the name wine, and suddenly she's credited for solving the riddle.
I mean, not for nothing. That's literally me half the time.
Okay. Right, that's why you're trying to stick up for it.
Absolutely.
But as they decide to drink the wine, they're sipping it down, a clock starts, and they're waiting to see what happens. And everyone's like, kind of going their own way in the living room area. And that's when our girl and teen, they walk
Ooh,
off. This was interesting
this was
because
interesting.
this episode gave us the most clues, I feel, for who teen might be, right? And when he walked off with Jennifer, I believe is the character's name,
Yeah, Jen. Yeah.
she's talking about, hey, do you they're talking about Agatha. And she mentioned, hey, do you know that Agatha traded in her
Her son.
son for the Darkhold? And he was like, no, I didn't hear, I've never heard about that. She was like, well, that's what they say, right? Just kind of like planting the seeds of doubt. And she was saying how that they don't know what happened to the son. They believe he might be, unalived or an agent of Mephisto. So we got a name drop of Mephisto in this episode. We got a little sprinkling of, who this teen may be. And I still feel my prediction is going to be correct that he's going to turn out to be none other than Agatha's son himself. What's his name? Nicholas, so and so. Nicholas
Nick,
Scratch.
yeah, that's guy. Yeah, Nicholas Scratch. That's once again hell of a name here. Marvel. I gotta give him their flowers when it comes to name. I did see someone on Twitter. I wish I knew the name to give them their credit, because that wasn't my idea. But everyone's trying to figure out who Teen is, and I think that's the fun part of this as we go along on these episodes, right? someone said that and they said you can't convince me that's not one of Wanda's kids, and I forget which name. I don't know
Okay.
who.
Was it Tommy? I feel like somebody said in the last episode. It could
It
have
could
Tommy.
have been. It could have been Tommy. I forget which one, but a lot of people. Well, I won't say a lot, but this one person said that, and I said that's interesting.
Mhm.
The Mephisto name drop. I'll believe it when I see it, but I do like because I feel like Marvel is like, you want Mephisto, huh? Well, we're gonna give you. We're gonna drop it. That's Dan Aykroyd. Stop it.
This is Mephisto. I'm telling you guys, this is Mephisto.
Mephisto wouldn't have those kind of sideburns, but
He's,
he might
he
be on
maybe changes shape. You never know.
you might be
Um,
onto something here. But I don't know if we. I hear you what you say with Mephisto. I just feel like they do that as a drop, as a tease, just because everyone is. We've been saying this since WandaVision, you know.
mhm, mhm. But as the ladies are drinking their wine, unfortunately, have this reaction, um, puffs up their face. All the ladies, but here's the image of what they looked like, right?
Good.
And luckily, of course, we have our potions master via Jennifer,
Mhm.
and she was able to kind of like narrow down what this poison could potentially be, right? But of course, there was Agatha. Agatha took the wine. She was pretending to drink whole time, and then it's pouring it
Hate
out
it,
the
man. I
side,
hate it. Yeah.
being sneaky. So they called her out on it. And eventually, after, again, this is another hint, after Teen was saying, hey, I'll take it, right?
Mhm.
Instead of having him take it, she took over almost like as a motherly instinct.
Yes. And this
And
won't be the first time either. I didn't mean to cut you off,
yeah,
but this wouldn't be the first time. Go ahead.
it would that she stopped him in a motherly way. Even when like yeah, it's been a bunch of times, and it seems like okay, they're trying to give us clues that this is his mom, which is why you heard it here first. That's all I'm gonna say. But she ends up drinking it. Her face puffs up as well. And is it me or is she giving like the penguin? Does she look like what's his name?
Who?
Oswald.
Oh, stop it. No.
She
No, no.
does from the
No.
HBO. Yes,
No,
look
I
at
don't
that.
see it. She looked like one of those girls who was in that TV show back in the day called Botch.
Yes, clearly, yes, yeah, definitely botched. But something about it is giving the penguin. I wish I had a side by side. If I had the time, I would have put it up. But one of the symptoms, of course, was this, face reaction, and
Yeah.
the next symptom, well, one of many, were hallucinations, and we see that several of the ladies had these hallucinations, and I took a screenshot of these here, right? So the
Okay.
first
Good deal.
was the first gentleman is Jennifer's hallucination. The second is what is her name?
Oh,
This
the older lady, right? The first,
yeah,
yeah, her. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
her
I forget the name.
hallucination. And the final image is
And that was her mother. I'm so terrible with these names, but that was
yeah, I'm bad with the names.
the rock and roll witch. I like to call her.
But that's why we have our cheat sheet here. I keep it in here for these purposes. But
Lovely.
we got Alice's mom. There we go. Alice's mom was
Alice.
the final hallucination. And it was nice to see that they had like a big horror element to this show, to this episode. It felt very scary, very spooky. What did you
I,
think about it?
I got creeped out with Jen's one because he was choking her or pushing her in the water and stuff. I was like, wow, that's kind of wild. I forgot which the middle one. I forget what her hallucination was. And the other one was just sad because she sees her mom. She's happy to see her mom, and she said, "Oh, your grandmother died today." And that's you don't want to ever hear those kind of words. So yeah.
Mhm.
And matter of
So,
fact, when you mentioned how horrifying this was, it's kind of interesting when you said that because I was like, I feel like you would have to go down that element when you go and have a show like this with witches, right? Like some kind
yeah,
of creepy thing, that and plus we're getting ready to go into the Halloween season. It just makes
yeah,
all
it
this.
has to be kind of creepy, kind of spooky, right? But I want to speculate as to who you think these other two may be. Because again, we know on the far right, we know that's Alice's mom, but
Right.
these other two, like originally, I thought the middle girl was our character, young as a young woman, right?
Sure.
But then when she came out of her hallucination, she mentioned something about they're all dead, they all died. So could it, I don't know if it could be her or maybe like someone in her family. because she's not a young woman. Like she's not as the age that she presents. She's hundreds of years old.
Right.
So I feel like maybe this could be either her young or someone in her family young.
I think
And
family.
you think someone in her family?
Yeah, yeah. I think someone in the family and they break the news down about they're all dead or something like that.
Ah.
Yeah.
And the gentleman on the left, Jennifer, later in the episode, she kind of after she wasn't able to get the potion just right, she said something about the lines. Oh, he took my powers. He took it. So whoever this
Ooh,
guy is, he's the one.
okay.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the gay.
I don't know what. Stop. Stop it. He's the what?
He's the gay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I don't know who he is, but that's the guy who took her power. Oh, and another thing.
What is?
When Alice had her hallucination of her mother, and her mother was screaming, "Oh, I can't protect you!" And earlier in the episode, we saw a tattoo that she has, and she said that her
Right.
mother made her get it at 13.
Right.
It's like a protection kind of charm or protection tattoo. So I thought that was interesting.
That
And
was.
another clue we get too. Teen was talking to her. He said, "Oh, 13. A lot happened to me at 13 too."
So now hearing all that, right? Um, it makes me go like that can't be Agatha's son because
Okay.
like didn't okay. So I'm gonna make sure I got this all right. I'm gonna make sure my little brain got this all correct. Didn't they say that? Oh, the rumor is that Agatha traded in her son, and every time we see anything in regards to the son, it's like he was a baby or something like that. And he
Yeah,
said
we do. Every time we
13.
do get that, actually, I had an image. I don't know where it ran off to, but whenever they do kind of talk about it, they do just say son.
Like it makes it sound like he never made his teens. Like if it's not a baby, because in episode one he had this. There was a room, and it looked like a room for a 5, 6 year old or something like that. I'm just saying it makes me wonder a little bit because when you said that out loud, I was like, well, unless he just I don't know because
I
Marvel.
have to go back and watch it because
Mhm.
now that I think about it, was there more child things in that room? But then they had an award. They specifically had some award that said, "This
Mhm.
here it is. Here it is. It's something about best vocals." So, but children's concert
Right.
choir.
It makes me go like at least 8, maybe 10 tops. Like
Possibly, but then again, it's that whole thing with this
mhm.
WandaVision
He could
aging
have
up.
aged. I get you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get you.
So I don't know. I don't know. But we do later in the episode, we do get Agatha's hallucination. Everyone had their hallucination, so
This
it's time
right
for
here.
Agatha to get
Mhm.
hers. And she hallucinated a baby, like a baby casket, not a
Nicholas.
casket, bassinet.
Nicholas. That was him.
Yeah,
That was him.
that
That
was
was
the
no
baby.
hallucination.
Yeah, and when she pulled back the blanket for the baby, it revealed the dark hold, right? So, is there do you think that this is confirmation that she did trade
Oh
in
yeah,
her?
no, 100%. Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. I think she did. I think, and even though she has remorse for it and all that stuff, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that she did that.
Ah, okay. I think she might have did it too. I feel like okay, this is all right, journey with me through my theories.
Sure. Let's
This
go.
is another
Let's
C
hike,
theory, right?
let's hike through the woods.
I feel like she didn't trade the baby. I feel like maybe she put a spell on the child to make it so no, maybe that the child was gone, or maybe the child doesn't know that that's her child. And again, that's pulling back to teen. Maybe that's why he can't say who he is because she had to make it seem to whoever
Mhm.
that the child was gone. So if he can't tell other people who he is and he doesn't know who he is, maybe that was a way to get around that, like a loophole for her to protect her son in a way, but also get her hands on the dark hole. Look at the hands in the image. She's trying to get her hands on it still.
She is. Yep, that girl did it.
That's
She
my wild theory of this episode. That yeah, she's maybe had part in putting the sigil onto Teen.
and to
And
know it. Okay.
yeah, and it's the magic was so strong that she doesn't remember and
Okay.
he doesn't remember.
Okay.
But we do see that there's some memory issue going on because once they get once Jennifer was able to put together a potion that stopped the poison and got them out of there, right?
Right.
we got a unfortunate demise. We got a death here this episode, guys.
You
And
think so?
again, just like with Thunderbolts, they have to have a death to solidify the team. We all know this. This is always happens. And
Wait a minute. You really think so?
I'm telling you, Bucky his days are numbered.
Oh
But
no, not Bucky. Bucky could kick the can. Don't do that. Miss Hart is. I'm sorry. I just see, yeah, I don't see, but she's laughing. But yes, Bucky could kick the can.
well, this Mrs. Hart is the one who
No, she ain't kicked no can. She drunk out of the can.
right. She drunk out the can, and she's 6
I
feet under the
don't
can.
do that on my joke. How dare you? But like, no, that was so rude.
Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for watching. 40 of you guys in here today.
Oh man.
Let us know your predictions and what you thought of the episode. And R.I.P. to Mrs. Hart.
You
But
think she, I don't think
I think she's gone.
Huh?
He said it. He said she's gone.
Who said that? Team?
Team said it.
Oh, so we're listening to teenagers, please. Please. I wouldn't even bother listening to that guy. His eyeliner is not even that cool. But I will go as far. It actually is pretty cool. I forgot what her name was. Complimented his eyeliner.
Yeah, Alice.
But I don't think so. Like when I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, did they really kill Miss Hart?" But I don't think so. I think something's gonna happen, and she's not. I don't think she's dead. I don't think she's down for the count. I just don't think so.
Okay,
Will you stop putting that RIP picture? Because that's just making me sad.
Oh, you feel this isn't the end? We'll see more of Mrs. Hart.
Miss Hart. I will sit here and say it first. Miss Hart's heart is still beating.
Oh, okay. Oh, touche. Very nice.
Thank you.
After that, just before the episode ends, everyone says they said her first name, not Mrs. Hart. I want to say it's like Shannon or Sharon or something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Agatha was like, "Who?" So it's a memory thing. I'm telling you.
That is interesting. That is interesting because she did say that, and they looked at her weird, and I looked at her weird. I didn't think nothing of it, but that's a really damn good point. Like I don't know what's going on, and I wanted to touch on a few things real quick before that scene. I mean, you have all this water and stuff coming into this apartment, and they had to climb out of a stove. But I also wanted to point out, like Agatha is an interesting character because you see that she's downright selfish, right? That's just she's selfish to her core. But there was a spot here with Jennifer. You mentioned like, she didn't know the spell and everything like that because she's so used to just using her magic because it's like an easy thing to go. Now she have to do the stuff manual. But I thought it was a really cool scene where they like Agatha says, "I hate you," which is a fantastic way to start a sentence. But says like, "But you really that girl? Like you know what to do. What do you need? What do we?" Come on, girl. We're running on time here. I just thought that was an interesting scene. I just wanted to touch on that.
True. She did do what she got to do, but Agatha is a survivor. She's going to do whatever it takes. We see even when they was trying to get down the witch's road and the door wasn't popping up, she was ready to aggravate everybody in that episode just to get down.
Right. Yes.
So when the stuff hit the fan, she's going to find a way. But yeah, that was the episode, guys. I enjoyed it. You thought it was a good episode?
I think these Marvel shows, well, at least Agatha, I'll talk about this because we're talking about Agatha. It's been fun. It's been interesting. It's a different take. I do like that. It's I'll say and say this. It's different. I'm so accustomed to like MCU being like MCU, but I kind of like different. So episode 3 was a fun one.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, please like the video and join us next week. This time for episode 4, we're going to discuss whatever we see and talk about our predictions and our hopes and all of that jazz. So see you next time and goodbye.